Karunji.
Yet another episode of Perspective with Josephine Karunji. Now, this last month we've been talking about the arts, and tonight we are talking about the future of our music industry in the era of digital. Let's start by introducing my guests for this evening, and I'll start to my very right, Daniel Kazibwe, Ragadi, as he's commonly known, and he says I should introduce him as somebody who does everything. Business, politics, music, all of it.
Yes.
But I'd want us to see a bit of what you do. If you could just have a clip of some of his songs playing so that we know a bit of Ragadi's journey.
Definitely, yes.
You've come a very, very, very long way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, our other guest for tonight is Pademan. Pademan, who is a music producer and an artist as well.
Sure. Let's
take a look at some of his work.
Sorry I didn't take you for granted. I should have called you the next day. Oh mama, bulisaja kusaba kisonyiwo nawo omanyi enemirimu mingi tuba mu kukazana nagezaako mama funa akasente nzije naye kambula.
Well, we're expecting our third guest, and I'm hoping she'll show up at any minute. But let's get into the discussion. Let's say it as it is.
Is brought to you by Sparkle Saloon. Professional, affordable, and quality services.
Question to both of you.
Yes.
How would you rate our music today? The quality of our music? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are we?
Well, music has different kind of ways of saying it. We could say audio, we could talk about video. The first thing is audio is getting better every day because the new digital, when the digital world where everything is coming in a different way, Uganda is getting somewhere. Video, you can see the competition. Videos are on MTV base, they're on channel, they're played on NTV every day. And you can see that people are doing right now. Long time ago, we used to do 720 and 320p, but now they're shooting 1080 to 4K. People are using red cameras, people are using their high-end cameras, so the quality is good.
If you were to give it a mark, 1 out of 10, 1 to 10.
Well, I would say we are getting some. We're getting to 6.
We're getting to 6.
Yes.
Okay, Fatima, what would you say?
When it comes to rating,
Uganda's music. I think the challenge here is in Africa, when we are rating everything, we rate it according to the Western world. Maybe I would give it 9 out of 10. In terms of quality, some music are just okay the way they are. You don't have to have it sound so good. For instance, if you bring a song which was produced in the 60s, you bring it back today, you want to modernize it, you kill its beauty. So the bad thing is that we want to always to rate our work compared to the Western world, which we will never get there because we are original.
So you think we are at a 9?
At a 9 as far as Africa is concerned. We're at a 9, yeah, or 10, I don't know.
I think one of the problems that we're seeing most people facing is the issue of piracy.
Yeah.
How are we dealing with it?
Well, piracy has failed in all ways. It has first failed on the part of the artist, and then failed on the part of the client, the listener, the person who likes the music, and then failed on the part of the administration. Like the government is not assisting the people to say that we're going to put a strict law. If we get you pirating music, you're going to pay a lot of money. People who pirate you, there's no way, I don't have a mandate to arrest a person who is selling my CDs in traffic. If I got him, it would be a different story. But if the government put a system that looks after the people who are making this music, because the industry is so big that if every artist's work was sold, I think most Ugandan artists would be billionaires. But people consume the music. The people who like the music, they don't even pay for it. They're like, what is the new one you have?
Has somebody ever come to your car to sell you your own CD?
Yes. Yes,
5,000, 10,000 shillings?
Many times. No, the worst thing they do is they bring one CD with like 200 songs. So they're like, Kanunkalina kunan stop. And you're like, you read through the names, you see your video there. Then you're like, you have nothing to do to him because he's saying, by the way, I'm not the one who records this. All I'm doing is to sell. Now, talking about the digital world today, is people have what they call the flashes.
Yes.
They have terrors. I mean, someone just comes and puts the flash in the computer. He gets more than 200 of your songs, and it asks you, do you have anything more? Because I have the rest. So you don't have nothing. You have nothing left. But if we followed what the other people are doing in the world, I think we could, it's just getting a bit of a twitch on the control. Because there's no control in Uganda. I don't see no control because Chinese have come here with those banning machines, CD banning machines. They ban. The movies, you can see movies in the theater, it is coming out like yesterday before you watch it. And no one is looking because other people are looking at, we're doing business. And the artists, I'll tell you, artists in Uganda, I've spent 3 years doing my music. It is impossible for anyone to survive saying 3 years you're not going to release a song. 3 years I've spent to release my new album that I'm going to release this week. But 3 years is like saying you're going to kill yourself. Because you say, long time ago we used to do a CD and Kasiuke comes and gives you 100 million, he sells the tape to the people. Now before a tape is sold anywhere, it is out everywhere. And the artist, why the artist is a problem is, you heard other artists say, every week I'm releasing a song. So what they do is they come to NTV and give NTV a new video before I bring out my video. So the competition that I go through, I end up also releasing my song very quick, which means I have no safety for my works. You can ask Paddy, what happens is artists are coming every week. They're like, I want to make another song today because you see, these guys are killing us. They're putting no music every day. Long time ago, it used to be take your time, release the music.
Now we are in a rush.
Yes.
Padaman, what from your perspective as a producer?
I think everyone is accountable to this. The public, you are the consumers. You take music for free. You take someone's music for free. The artist, you okay, most especially the upcoming artist. They feel okay if their song is played all over. And we have a number of artists who have the Billboard mentality. All they're looking at is one day to appear on a billboard, no matter whether they earn money. And these people, it has happened to them. They appear on billboards and they pass by the billboards footing because they're not paid. All they want is to appear on a billboard. I would appeal to the public to be generous or to appreciate these talents. Even the artist. One time I remember I had an argument with Eddie Kenzo before he did City Loss. I had an argument with him in the studio, and this was about copyright. And he was like, the big artists, they're suffocating, they're oppressing the upcoming. By that time, he was an upcoming artist, and he was advocating for the upcoming artists. He wanted his music to be all over. I told him, how do you rate Uganda's music? Who is the best artist in Uganda? He said Jose Chameleone. I said, according to what? He said, when he goes to cricket oval, it fills up. I said, what are the records? How many albums has he sold? How many CDs has he sold? He was like, no, he's the big artist now. He might say he's the big artist now, but you ask him, how many CD sales have you sold out? So
we have our artists releasing music, but there's no money to show for it.
There is no money to show up. It's all nothing. If they tell you, I had a show and I got like 10,000 people, it means tomorrow you need to put up another show. These artists, they are like golf balls. They are being hit from Mbarara to Gulu, from Piracy they are moving every now and then because they survive on performances.
Not on this.
Nobody said, how many people would say, I bought a CD for Chameleone when I went to his show? It's all about attending a show once in a year, and then they go back home.
And then I can go and download it.
You don't need to download. Just move with your flash in a corner. You give it to someone with a computer.
So we have YouTube that pays for views.
Yeah.
iTunes buys your songs.
Yeah.
We have so you can put your music on some sites for free.
Yes.
Then you have people buying music like on, for example, Spotify. What opportunities are there for the new generation of artists?
Well, going to the digital world.
Yes.
Today, YouTube is a platform, but different people use YouTube and like in a different way, more than what the artist would want. Today, I've been checking my new song that I put on YouTube, and someone else got it from YouTube and also put it again to make his own subscription. You get my point?
Yes.
But that person is in Mozambique. You get my point? So in Mozambique, I cannot follow him. He's already, you see, everyone who goes on there, if he makes 100 people, he's paid. Through PayPal, they pay him money. So he has a subscription of Ugandan music, but in Mozambique.
Right.
You get my point?
So he's earning from your work.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But now we're going to another level, whereby we have what they call TuneCore. TuneCore, you pay them money, and your music, whoever plays with it everywhere in the world, is handled by those guys. So what they do is you pay them for handling your music, but it's expensive for the artist who is beginning because you'll not understand how you're going to pay through PayPal, through Visa card and everything.
Right.
For the guy from Masaka who has sung his song and people like it in Uganda, does not know how to deal with PayPal, does not know, has never held a Visa card, he doesn't know how to do it, so he's going to be left in the dark. So what happens is we need the industry to come up. And we need the government to look at the industry as Uganda, the music industry is bigger than tourism industry. Because before our music sold, you would never hear the name Uganda apart from the Idi Amin.
Idi Amin.
Now, I've done shows in Senegal, Ivory Coast, South Africa, Russia, where you don't expect even Ugandans to be, and you're like, someone is taking you to do a show, and you're like, but what will I sing? They're like, no, you, don't worry, we have paid you, you come and sing. Which means our music has gone further than we think. Now, because our government is not looking at the industry as a big thing, in Nigeria, the first thing they talk about is oil, and the next thing is music. Before it was the movie.
The movie.
Now it is the music. And what they did is they got money and put in the music industry. All the artists you see, you are seeing techno today in Uganda, their embassy goes to the nightclubs and pays our DJs to play Nigerian music.
Sure.
Now, if Ugandan, and we love Ugandan, and we want to sell Uganda, let our embassies go in the UK and sell our music. Let our embassies go in South Africa and sell our music. You saw what happened. People filled up Techno's show, but they do not fill up Chameleon's show. Why? Because they think there's something that Chameleon is lacking that their Nigerians have. If you look, 4 years ago, I was taken for the African tour, and the Nigerians, what they were doing, they sponsored the African tour, and they got artists from Kenya, Rwanda, Sudan, Nigeria, and they put us together. It's like a project film, and they wanted to know what are the similarities in African music. For them, their country is sponsoring it. For us, our country is waiting to come at the door and ask you, how much have you made?
How much have you made?
You get my point? If we wake up and say, this industry, you have seen where Eddie Kenzo has gone. They have taken him to BET. You have seen where these ghetto kids have been dancing. In America, on a platform where Michael Jackson danced, where no other Ugandan has been. Now, the people who are watching, they're knowing, oh, they come from where? Uganda. Where is Uganda? Some people think that Uganda is East Africa.
Sure.
Africa.
Some people think
Uganda
there's
is
a
Africa.
small, that's a small town.
It's a playground.
But we need to embrace our country and say, this is Uganda.
And
that's why when we are singing, I will not sing 15 words in English. I will end up saying, so that someone can say, where is he from? You get the point?
Sure.
We have a problem in the industry. Our musicians have started talking like Nigerians because the Nigerian music is selling. You can ask Paddy what happens in the studio. When he's going to produce a song, the singer says, I want it like the video.
Sure.
So at the end, we are going to look like them. Kumbe, they copied us. Sure. The music came, let me tell you, people who don't know the history, the xylophone came from Ginger.
Sure.
The xylophone was made by Basoga. There was a Ngomenganda made by Baganda in Galabi. These are drums that were taken to West Africa and they changed the shape, but they were made here. But now for us to put a Ngomenganda on your video, someone says, loco.
So you don't think the industry is getting the support it should be getting, especially from
the people who are watching us now? They're not supporting because for them they like. From the artists, they're not supporting. When you tell them, please don't release your music, first hold on to it. Release the music when you're ready to make money out of it. They're like, no, I want people to know me. So that's why you see when I say I don't want my music to be out, some artist is saying that is very good. They're going to think he doesn't sing anymore. So they keep spreading their music.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Padiman, I want to hear from you on this same issue, but let's do that right after this short break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We're coming to you live from the Kampala Serena Conference Center, Nile Room. Now, just before we took the break, Ragadi, you were telling us about how the music industry is actually bigger than the tourism industry, and you're calling on the government and all these other people to support the industry. Yes. But then we're being asked, and this question I think I'll give it to you, Padiman, are we not asking too much from the government? The government is overwhelmed, and this is James who says, can we not work around the government?
I think that's not too much. Actually, it's less. It's not too much. If the government doesn't help the industry, we're not asking money, as in much money to be given to the artist. All we want is protection. We need our work to be protected. We compose our work every now and then. Let me give you an example. One time I was in a taxi going to Ginger with a friend, and a friend of a friend, he had a piece of a song on his on his phone. He was like, "Paddy, this is new," and this was an instrumental of Valu Valu. After we released the song Valu Valu, I did an instrumental, so I gave it to the owner. I mean, to the artist, and he was like, "Paddy, kano kabakoze ka kabi nnyo." He didn't know I was the producer. He had already got the piece, and he was telling me this piece is quite good. You get. So our work is not protected. We don't need much from the government. We need protection. We are not going to go door to door, you know, asking who gave you my work, who gave you my work. Baja tukubireyo.
Is there money to be made writing music?
There's a lot of money in music.
So if a young person out there is watching and they write songs, or, you know, what do they do?
Everything to do with creativity. Everything to do with writing a piece. Any song you come up with, it's, as long as it's original, it's worth $1 million. There is no amount of money you could do. It has no price tag. I might not buy it today, and we might need it 50 years to come.
Well, that looks like a very polished way of putting it. If somebody here wrote a song and brought the piece of paper and said, look, then what happens?
We buy it. I personally will buy it.
It's as simple as that?
We buy it, yeah. We pay them money.
Okay, let's hear some of the questions that they have. We'll start with you.
My name is Taiwo Osbat. We have seen some artists releasing songs just talking about themselves badly. And do you think this will contribute to the development of music industry in Uganda?
Talking about what?
They talk about themselves badly, whereby
Artists
someone
abusing
can
each other
sing
in their in the songs.
in the songs.
Oh, artists abusing each other.
Yeah.
As a family man, I wouldn't recommend it. But such competition in the industry you cannot avoid. You know, like hip-hop, what makes up hip-hop music is all about bragging. I am better than you, you're better than me. You need to prove you're better than the other. So such songs are not necessarily abusing, but such songs, you cannot avoid them in the industry. If you think you're better than me, then sing a song proving.
Okay. Oh, another question, and this one is for you, Ragadi, is are we at a disadvantage internationally because we are not native English speakers?
No, we don't have no advantage. I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. The Congolese, if you listen to songs like Ekotite, which is played everywhere by Kofi, people do not even understand what they're talking about. But music is a language, and music is just like food. I mean, if you taste good food, you don't need to ask the name of that food. You just say, I like this. So if you sing good music, people don't care about what you're talking about. Sure. People care about the rhythm. People care about the word progression. People, after that, they'll care about what is the meaning of the song. You'd hear Ndombole a solo and you don't understand what they're talking about. The same word sung by 15 artists. You would hear by City Alosi. So many people would sing City Alosi somewhere in West Africa and they don't understand that the man is talking about this. But it's because music is music.
Well, the question continues. Yeah. Can we make international hits out of some folk songs? Then they put Kadongo Kamo. There are some very nice stories and rhythms in some of these songs. Yes,
yes. The only thing we have in Uganda, we are not patriotic. We don't embrace our country. Someone says, "Fabantu bawansi," katinga fabantu bawansi. We are all people with blood, same blood. If you sang Kadongo Kamu in that way, people would embrace that music in a musical way. Let me tell you, country music, Jim Reeves, is Kadongo Kamu of America. Which we like in Uganda because we don't know that it is Kadongo Kamu of America. Now, Kadongo Kamu of Uganda is music that we call Kadongo Kamu, but music to other ears in a different way. So we cannot say that, oh, this music can't go far. I remember I sang a song, Semsaja Again. It is a folk song. I sang Semsaja Again, and what I did in a clever way, I changed the Luganda words into Acholi. Alachi achero kaleva chalmatabo matiegang gin angocha loke echeri. And someone is like, I think I know this song. Kumbi, the song was long time ago sung by Sam Jaja, long time ago. And then you play around with it. If you hear the by Winston Mayanja,
yes,
these are songs that people, when they listen to them, you see folk songs, the funny thing about them is someone says, Akoninganga Kamani. Because long time ago when you're growing up, these are songs that you heard.
Yes.
Semsa Jagain also sang by Steve Jean, long time ago. And people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like, let's get up and say, this is Uganda.
Okay. Well, before we take the next question, I'd like to introduce our very last guest. She's a bit late. She was held up, but she's finally made it. Let's have some of her music playing as she makes her way to the city.
Malaika amanya gopani newe banke masija malaika osude mu mukwano twala balala totaba twala
Angela Kalule, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
We're glad to see you. So we've been talking about the future of the music industry, especially in this digital age where our music is going. So I'll start you off on another note. Survival for the musician in Uganda. Do I have to be a professional? Do I have to have gone to school to do this? How do I fit into this industry?
You don't have to go to school. That's what I believe. You must have the zeal, the talent, and the zeal to make it in this industry right now.
The thing that people think about the music industry, that they didn't study, they didn't, that always comes up when your child says, I want to do music.
Currently, we're getting into an era or a phase whereby musicians are not the illiterate. Because some of us have gone back to school, some of us are going back to school, and it's not a profession that is to be thrown to be associated. I mean, it's not a profession that is supposed to be associated with the illiterate. It is a profession whereby we earn a living out of it, and most especially right now that most of our leaders use the musical industry to portray their messages to the public. It is an industry that should not be overlooked and associated with illiteracy.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's take the second question from the audience.
Yeah, my name is Gilbert Normani, and my question goes to Ugandan.
Yes.
I understand you are a big man towards the government, and I want to know how have you engaged, one, the government and the fellow artists, so that we develop the music industry to another level?
Well, that one is a simple one. First of all, the government is us who are here. Because the government are people that are you, that are me, that are the other ones watching TV right now. If we wake up and say we can make money in the music industry, if the government or the people are saying there's no employment in Uganda, music is my job. Last weekend I was in Kamuli making my money. The other day I was in Uganda. If the government or the people wake up and say, oh, if we have the Chifesi people that are beating people and produce 5 studios in 5 divisions of Kampala and say everyone who feels they know to sing, recording is for free, we'll have superstars in Uganda in a very short time. And that is job creation already. We'll have people who have messages. Some people think I don't come, but to teach you how to become a farmer. that music will come to the people who are deep down in the village to learn that, hey, if you dig like this is how you earn. Some people teach people how to get out of drugs. If I sing a song and talk about, then someone is listening and says, I think it's a bad thing. This man is saying the right thing. So music should be embraced by Ugandans. And we should say, not the government. Government, that's out. Us, all of us. Not the president, not the ministers. Let us wake up and say, let us give this industry power.
Well, another question that's come up is, why have our artists failed to live contemporary? I'm hoping I'm getting that right. Like Jim Reeves, is it they're bad behaving? I'm hoping we understand. Why have our artists failed to live contemporary, like Jim Reeves? Is it they're bad behaving?
No,
I think maybe he's talking
no,
about...
they're talking about why have they not made the mark for a very long time?
No, I believe maybe it could be why are we still into the Ugandan musical scene? Is it that and not really?
I actually think he's talking about the behavior.
The behavior.
Ah, the behavior.
Yes. What I would say, what they're trying to talk about is don't talk about longevity and sticking to what you're doing. Sticking to what you're doing, like you sing Jim Reeves music from the day you start till the day you're gone. It is difficult in the industry today because of the competition.
Okay.
Now, I think adding to that, it comes to all about daily bread. Artists, many of the artists we have here, they're into daily bread.
Quick money.
Quick money.
Quick money. And
the richer time, just the richer time when they're not competing with anyone, but actually they are competing with themselves. You know, you release a song today, you release another one tomorrow because you need to cover up the industry. And the next day, I don't want to listen to anything from you because I think I've heard everything from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Angela, you wanted to say?
I was actually going to say the same thing. We get to a point whereby we are competing against each other for the little market that is there. And actually the people that spend quite a lot of money into shows and, you know, buying the music and all that kind of stuff would mostly listen to the songs that we produce there and then, because they're not really into the quality of music. So we end up seeing very, very good artists producing mediocrity work because they're trying to cater to the audience that pays to come and watch the shows, the audience that pays to have you at functions, the audience, and we also have needs. We have personal needs, we have responsibilities, and you know we need to focus on looking after our families. So where the money is at is, you find that where the money is at is where the focus is put. That is why most of the times we are like that. There's always a sense of mediocrity with whatever we
because we're after the money.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's take another short break. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. We are coming to you live from the Kampala Serena Conference Center, Nile Room. Well, just a few more questions before we make our closing remarks. Moha is asking, how are artists earning from their music that is being used as caller tunes on many people's phones?
Well, I'll answer that. There are many platforms. There's like Bluetooth, SMS One, DMAC. So what they do is they talk to communication companies. And you have to do it, you go into a deal with the communication company and you're like, they're going to use your song as a monotone or ringtone. And every time a person plays that song, someone is cut off the phone. But most artists in Uganda don't know that their songs are used. That is one. Two, other artists, they just say, Mokakoze say, as long as it is everywhere.
As long as people know,
yes.
know me now.
But if you know the mechanics of how it works, every song they'll give you like 250 shillings, Uganda. Uganda has 20 million people using phones. So 20 million people, if 15 million people use your song in one day and you're getting 250 per person, you're a billionaire.
Yes.
Well, we don't have billionaires.
Yes, I'm coming to the point. The reason why we don't have billionaires, we're not straightforward to ourselves as the artists. We do not come to tell our friends that, you know what, your song is selling, and let's go to MTN, and they use it as a ringtone.
Okay.
Then we wait for a small company hidden somewhere in Machindi to say, I receive all the music from Angela, all the music from Ragadi, and take it to MTN, like we don't know where Airtel offices are. So you get my point. Is if we wake up and say, let us love our country, let us love the industry. We wake up and producer Paddy, before he does anything, signs an agreement with the artist. I'm going to make a ringtone that is just with the beat as instrumental, and we are going to sell it to Airtel. So Airtel will be now dealing with the real people, with the real artists.
Yeah.
So it will be so easy. They give you a password, and on your phone, just like how you get mobile money, you can see how many people are taking your song in a day.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I want to get to look at a few more questions very quickly because our time is fast spent. Capitano Emma, he was correcting his earlier question. He says, let us not underlook the behavior and the ethics of our artists. Scandal after scandal. It kills musicians and their work. Yes.
But I think he's being unfair. You know, there's a lot of that has been said towards the artist. You know, it's all about the bad news all about the artist. Let me tell you guys, even other people do scandals, not only artists, but because I don't know why every negativity that comes up towards the artist, it's given publicity. But it's okay, we understand. My request would be, let's not over-exaggerate whatever happens to the artist. Some people do scandals, guys. Footballers do scandals. You see, politicians do scandals. But if an artist came up with a scandal, oh my God, it will cover up all the news. Can we just underlook the scandals and
focus on their music?
Focus on their music.
The issue is that we're always in the public eye. That is one. And the moment you're in the public eye, all eyes are on you, and we do make the news. Of course, some media companies would love to make sales, and you know, since the fans would want to know what's Angela up to, what is Ragadi up to. So the moment something happens, it's going to be splashed all over. But so many people actually do scandals. It all comes back to us. We need to be very organized and see how we delegate work to people such that you have a PR person, you have a manager, you have someone to help you at least, carry yourself in public so that, you know, you do not, someone who's going to deal with the press and see that nothing that comes out, and because so many things are, you know, swept under the carpet.
Okay. Well, and the final question, what about using music for social change? Bob Marley and Lucky Dube criticize corruption and segregation. Do you think we should use it to talk about things like unemployment and crime? Are we using that in our industry?
We're actually trying to do so at the moment, because some of us, some of the mainstream artists are going away from singing about love and hate, love and love. So we're trying to get into the social scene, getting onto the social scene.
Politics.
Singing about, Bobby Wine has done that, he's also done that. I'm trying to do that. The next project involves some music about our social lives and something like that. So we are trying to get to that because we see that the people look up to us. So we have to try to see that we use our music to portray messages that are going to be positive, that will positively influence our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ragadi, I'll start with you and ask you to give us something to carry us home.
I will. One very important thing that I'd like to send to the Ugandans, because I'm a Ugandan and I love Uganda. I want to sing Ugandan music, and I want to see that Ugandan music goes to another level, is let us love our country, let us love our musicians, let us put competition aside and say, let us develop this industry, because now, because of a lot of competition, we have seen Team Angela Carle, Team Pademan, Team Ragadi, and they do not want to be near each other. But I've seen Nigerians, you see a video where you see P Square and you find the video and the others. In our videos, if you're looking at my video, you'll never see Baby Cool or Bobby Wine or Chameleon together, unless there's something they're trying to do. But if we embrace, if we forget all about the differences and say, let us hit it hard. Because I remember 4 years ago, Ugandan music had taken over Africa. 4 years ago. I'm talking about Kenya was quiet. Rwanda was quiet, Nigeria was quiet. Now, after 4 years ago, every TV, every radio is playing Nigerian music. Ugandan music is going just like slowly, but slowly down. So it is up to us to say that we love our country, we love our music, we love our artists, because they don't train to become big stars. They become big stars because of the people watching TV.
Yes. Okay.
So all I would like to say is that let's be patriotic, let's love the industry. We'll make more. We're going to get people employed. We're going to get people educated. We're going to get people to know what's happening in our country. Thank you.
Padaman?
Yeah, thank you. I think I will still go back to the government issue.
Okay.
About piracy. My brother said we are the government for the people, by the people, democracy everywhere. Yes, we believe in that. But I'll still request the government to protect our work. Our work is not protected. People are consuming our work for free. It's very bad. You wake up in the morning, you come up with an idea, the next day you put it on TV, someone
steals it.
Someone steals it and he uses it. You do a song, the next day someone is consuming it for free. She has a lot of songs. He has a lot of songs, but you guys, you listen to the music for free. You dance to this music in the club for free. The owner of the club does not pay. It's even different on the radios. It's the other way around. These guys pay radios for their music to be played. Some radios, you get. You pay the DJ to play your music. This is your work. This is this is your identity. But to get it known to the public, okay, I think the government should come up and protect us. Okay. I need someone to give me however little money would be, but it's my work.
All right, thank you very much, Padaman. And finally, Angela.
I see a future of Ugandan music taking over the African scene. I do believe that.
You're
Only
perfect?
yes, I do. Okay. I do. Only if we, the musicians, stop competing against each other and get to a common cause, and also some of the organizations that are responsible for distributing our music, at least lax it a bit. Because let me give an example. Most of these DJs and clubs would love to play our music constantly, 24/7, but the harassment they receive, let's say from the companies that try to get royalties from them for us, on our behalf, make it impossible for them to play our songs. Yeah. One would love to play Ugandan music for 5 hours, let's say, in a discotheque, but then for fear of, somebody knocking their door, hey, I want 2 million shillings and, all that kind of thing. We need that, at least them to lax a little bit. And we need to unite as musicians to see that at least we have a common goal of making our music at least popular. Have maybe a common tune, a common beat, let's say, for that is identifiable with Ugandans, but only if we do get together and stop competing against each other.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for taking the time to come and speak with us. And that was this week's episode of Perspective with Josephine Karunji. Coming up next is NTV Weekend Edition. Keep it NTV.
Renew your monthly basic bouquet subscription of 18,000 shillings before it expires. Then enjoy 3 free days only on Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
I'm living proof that even with HIV, I can live a healthy, productive life. And that's because I began taking my ARVs the day I tested HIV positive.